Per usual, this show is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. It is alts on Thursday. I wanted to wait till after the NVIDIA earnings were live yesterday and have a session during the day, just in case some squirrely funny business happened. And here we are. Big reversal on NVIDIA, big reversal on the Qs and the SPY. You know, why? Maybe it's the Fed. Maybe it's just people spooked about what's going to happen. Not going to have jobs numbers in time from the government until after the next Fed meeting. Maybe people saw the jobs numbers come out better than expected today, interpreted that as the Fed having enough ammo to not cut because they're not going to get other data. You know, we could go back and forth on that. No matter what's happening at the Fed, this is not trading well on the BTC side. Alts way down the stack also look quite awful. Sol and ETH and Sol, I think they actually look tradable here. BTC just feels like there's a lot that is quickly looking to offload. So if we're talking levels, we're talking the cloud, we are flirting with a bearish TK cross here coming up probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We are flirting with a close in the cloud. We are gunning for the 80K yearly pivot. And if this is a full edge to edge, we're talking about 65. You know, we're already down 32% in a couple weeks. We were just above 100K. The problem is it feels like there's a mean reversion attempt coming soon. It's just, you sort of need some momentum to stop this train and reverse it a little bit. The other longer term target would be the 200-week moving average. I mean, the good bad news is the quicker we slice through the cloud, the quicker we'll probably recover. What you definitely don't want is this unemotional apathy where you just sort of linger lower, and nothing really happens, nothing gets resolved. Typically, the faster we go down, the faster things get figured out and resolved because you have fear, you have people sending coins to exchanges, you have people selling and pushing the price lower. That's just what it is. So the levels I'd watch here is on this weekly, do we hold 80 or not? Do we close in the cloud or not? But it certainly doesn't look great from this perspective. And if we look at the VPVR levels, we're talking about a full reversal of the election. A lot of people quoting like, oh, we're down since the inauguration. That to me is an irrelevant level. The market was pricing in this admin the moment the election, the day of the election, right? So that's where we could go. And that would be a true, complete round trip. Along with the cloud down here, you also have a VPVR level. Now, all of this sounds extreme, but again, what stops this here? I don't know. The pitchfork is also showing some last signs of support here, basically 83, 82, something like that. Daily cloud, you're free floating. You've got no div yet either. That's something else to consider. No RSI div, lower low in price, lower low in RSI. RSI is so low at this point, it's going to be pretty hard, I think, to push it lower unless we get a huge washout. Something else to watch for on the weekly is like a massive wick. You know, this classic example. We didn't immediately go up, but it's a good sign that buyers exist. People know how to hit the green button instead of the red button. We're not quite there yet, especially on US session with ETFs just spewing out coins, seemingly, and random whales spewing out coins. You know, it just is what it is. And you have to know what kind of market you're in. You're clearly not in an up-only, everything's awesome market right now. If this can stabilize, you're getting early signs of a TKC clamp here with something around like 105, something like that, if this can bounce. But we are probably a ways out from that. Lower timeframes, you do get signs of divergences. This is a continuous forward divergence for going on a week now. I don't know if there's necessarily a pattern here, but we were literally like, it's on the same chart, right? October, that was all-time high, 125, all the way down. So it's been quite swift. And if BTC looks like that, again, alts just aren't going to be happy. So we can talk about Zcash, which I will, fine. Like, you know, trade what's moving, whatever. But it's not BTC right now. This is Tether and Circle USDC dominance. Huge inverted head and shoulders. This would be a risk off signal that's breaking up. The target here is 11 to 13. Let's see if we can nail this one on technicals. The last time we were up here was the bottom of the bear market, right? So we'll see, right? All this sounds very, very extreme, but those are the levels that I'd be watching if things do get extreme. And what's odd here is dominance still doesn't look like it wants to go higher. If anything, it's ranging, but it's still putting in this head and shoulders. And this is what's giving me any hope at all that alts have a chance in 2026, is this breaking down. Still early days. This will take probably into January, I'd imagine, for an answer. But the setup is there. The setup is certainly there, and the setup is there on total 2 over BTC, which is an inverted head and shoulders with potential cloud move in 2026. It's just, would I pre-position for any of this now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because you don't know which alts. Maybe it's ETH, maybe it's Sol, maybe it's stuff at the top versus stuff in the middle or stuff way at the bottom. But I think the actionable tradable signal is going to be when this chart can get a higher high, when this chart can get a lower low. That's it. And it'll be pretty obvious on ETH, and it'll be obvious on ETH BTC. Stables have not really printed too much in the past couple of weeks. Tether has flattened out. USDC is redeeming a little bit here. So not a divergence on stables, because if we were just printing like mad and prices were going down, that would be a good sign that people are probably buying the dip. Probably. It's tough because you'd think the opposite. You think, oh, if we're printing more stables, that's probably people selling to cash, and there just needs to be more stables in the ecosystem. But, we're not seeing that either. It's just a flat line. So my expectation is if we start printing again, that's probably going to be a good sign for a bottom, or it means we've already reversed at that point. Total 2 looks okay, and it's basically just ETH and Sol. This is not longable in my opinion. This is not tradable. There's no signal here. There's nothing to do. The moment we get back above 1.5, I like it, but it certainly doesn't look as bad as BTC. You can say that much. ETH, it's the same. It doesn't look as bad as BTC. Does it look great? No. Again, is it tradable? Arguably, probably not. It does have the last stand of a divergence here. It did break 3K. I'm still holding a very tiny position in ETH, Sol T, and MXTX. Tiny. Just in the event that this has a random intraday reversal for no reason on some mean reversion play, right? This isn't like a trend trade. This isn't a pattern per se. There's really nothing going on, but ETH is entering a level where you'd expect a reaction or a stop based on resistance turning into support. If we look at ETH on VPVR, the volume profile, you're also seeing a level, which is what you'd expect in the 2600 range, 3400 range, something like that would be the resistance. But you've got a decent cushion of support here over the past 2 years based on volume. ETH BTC still looks good. Is it tradable now? No, but it is setting up. It is setting up. Arguably, it's increasingly looking bearish, but I still really, really like this diagonal. That's the actionability as is above the cloud. Until then, the expectation is a slow bleed down. But I do like the setup, and it's easy and obvious. It's not like it's some random who knows what that you're looking for here. Even if you're already long, lower lows you're out, and higher highs you're in. That's it, right? It's just, to me, that's a pretty simple, clear-cut case on how to trade ETH BTC. Sol has also held 130, but barely. Also has this falling wedge psi component to it. Does not have a div here. Probably more of a gamble than ETH. And ETH is pretty much up there, on gambling. Again, none of this stuff looks great. I'm trying to put lipstick on a pig here. I don't see too much. Alts down the stack look horrific. DCAing every 5%, something people are doing. DCAing every day, every week, very slowly, right? Because you don't know. You just don't know. And momentum is clearly heavily favoring down right now. Ripple's also hitting its measured move lower after a head and shoulders at the bottom, which people tell me is impossible. Well, there's another one for you. As far as Zcash, this has a little probably low time frame ascending triangle cup and handle. Trend still looks okay. It is trying to bear div out here. Technically, this is a higher high without the wicks. So not for me. Good for you if you've caught this, but I guess it's something to trade right now. Monero on the monthly still looks fine. Somehow it's managing to stay in the 300s with BTC selling off. And just another one I see a lot of people talking about is Stark. Fundamentally, most of these are questionable at best, but if you are trying to take trades and you're trying to find where the market is right now, where money is willing to take a risk for whatever reason, the privacy coins seem to be it. So across the board, not a lot going on to me that's tradable on the bullish side. You're probably a little late if you're looking to short this. Maybe hedges are okay for certain people if you're smart about it. The real nail in the coffin was at like 105. You know, when we were setting up for another inverted head and shoulders here and made a lower low, already below the cloud, never a good sign. That's all I got for this one. If you like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.